Okay, welcome Group 11. So now it's time for you to report on your status of your proposal.
Based on our progress since last week is we did do some research about other creatures from other regions and do some compare and contrast.
Hmm.
And right now like we're on the state where we want to make questions and ask people around, maybe create a survey to
Hmm.
create another data.
Your what's your title? What's your topic again?
Um, we changed it.
Intercultural hybrid creature, like mythical creature.
Mythical creatures. Hmm.
Yeah,
So do you have a title, temporary title now?
uh, intercultural hybrid creature.
Okay, I mean the specifics. Okay. Do you okay? Where you at this point? You said you already have looked at some existing information, right?
Yes.
Yeah, some
So
research.
yeah, so tell me about everything that you've been looking at, and do you have like have you written anything down or
Yes.
yeah? That'll
We
be
can make
helpful
the
for me to
slide.
look.
The slides. You
So
got slides. Yeah.
okay, go ahead. Let's have a look at the slides.
Okay. Can you see my screen, sir?
Okay, cool.
Yes. So let me just scroll down one by one. So the rationale not yet done. Then this is just because we mainly focus on Alebrijes, right? Like how we how to say how we like like
Use Alebrije folk art, and then we intercultural it, hybrid it with other kinds of folk art from other culture.
yeah, something like that.
So you talking about folk art. Is it 3D art or
Yeah,
is it
3D 3D art.
the 3D creature itself?
Wait, do you mean like by soft sculpture?
Yeah, you're looking at the models of their creatures,
Yeah,
that creature lah. Okay.
yeah,
So
folk
you
art by sculpture lah.
you started off with the Mexican Day of the Dead, uh,
Yeah, the Alebrije as our base,
the
our
Alebrije.
ultimate lah.
Let's look at the first. Okay, right.
Basically,
Okay,
this is
got
just
it.
the briefly about
Good.
Alabrijes, the
Okay.
history, the making, and the types of
All right.
Alabrijes.
Let's look at the types. Okay, so
Yeah.
you have these. Right. Okay. Okay. Then next.
So this from here on, we like do each of us do studies about other creature from other regions.
Okay. Next.
Yeah, that's the
Okay. So
mythology creature.
okay. Cool. Roman mythology creatures. So these are hybrids as well, is it?
Yes, hybrid creature as well.
What culture is known for ancient cultures? Okay. Hippogriff and the hippocampus. Okay. Next. And okay, shows a similarity with the Alebrijes griffin. Hmm. And the hippogriff. Wow. The griffin has a body of a lion, isn't it?
Yes, the griffin.
Part hawk, or part eagle, part right. Next, both Alebrije and griffin have hybrid creatures with a combination of multiple animals. Both Alebrije and griffin known for good creatures, not evil beast. Hmm. Difference between Alebrijes. Griffin is a majestic creature. Spirit that guides. Right. Okay, next. The chimera. Interesting. Okay, next. Good. Similarities between Alabrijes. You're going back to the Alabrije. Chimera and hybrid creatures, condition animals. Have and chimera have four elements of earth water. Okay. So difference between Alabrijes, differences between Alabrijes is similarities in different. Okay. Chimera is evil beast. This is spirit guide people. Okay. Next, Chinese mythological creatures. The nine suns dragon. Each dragon has their own unique appearance. Huh. Next. 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 Okay. What when you put the difference between Alabre, okay, the nine dragons, is it possible for you to put the nine dragons comparison to in say one or two slides? Because I think that
So,
you're gonna put all nine dragons here, and also I noticed that when you make the distinction between the Alabrihe and each of those dragons, only the second point shows the actual thing. You're repeating the first point. Yazi is a mythological creature,
yeah.
Alabrihe is a mythological creature. They're kind of repetitive. So the first difference is rather repetitive. So I think maybe you just put only the main difference, like the second point here, on the differences between the Alabrijes. So the Yazi is known as a creature with bad temper, but Alabrije is known as good creature. But try to avoid using general terms like good creature. But what do you mean by good creature?
Oh,
So like Yazi, you're very specific. Yazi is about bad temper. Yazi is a representation. So you got to use words like symbolism and representation. All at some point in the beginning part, you should say each creature have its symbols, are symbolic. Every creature from different culture is symbolic, and you're going to show. So in this case, the Yazi dragon represents bad temper, or is a creature that represents bad temper, but Alabrihe is the opposite of bad temper, which is what? So good creature means what? So you got to have, that means, is it possible for the Alabrihe to have, you know, if
good.
Alabrihe, yeah, Alabrihe, yeah. So what do you mean by good creature in the context of opposite? Is it the opposite, or is there a difference between Alabrihe with all the nine creatures, or are there any nine of the creatures similar to Alabrihe? So maybe you would want to, because this is complex. The Chinese nine dragons probably more complex as compared to the others. The others are very distinct. Okay, you have those points very clear. But for the nine creatures, try to summarize them in maybe two slides. So you have a table or something like that, so more like a diagrammatic thing. You can put those pictorial icons, pick only the necessary image icons to represent the nine creatures. You know, so Yeah, I would advise. So go to next slide. Okay. Yeah. Good. Next. So try to have summarize it. I think Chinese legendary creature, mythical beast, somewhat similar to the Kilin, looks like a goat with silver horn. I think the this one summarize it in one sentence so that you don't have to put all the entire text here. You could put the shizi shiji, or how you pronounce it, in brackets. Something symbolizes justice and judges between good and evil, and things like that. And that's good enough. Good, distinguish good, evil, whatever, and guilty. That's it. All right. Then you can, others, you don't have to really explain so much. The important thing is you got to emphasize in your description about what these dragons represent. Okay, so then go to the next slide. Yeah, this one again, the differences. It's a Alebrehe is an abstract magical creature, while a legendary creature. Um, I think you just stick to one distinct difference. Alebrehe com, com, Zichi compared to the Alebrehe is Zichi is known as the animal of truth, whereas Alebrehe does not represent only the truth; it represents only something like that. Maybe Alebrehe is probably has a more abstract representation. It does not represent neither either truth nor lies or anything. Alebrehe is, you know, um, is just a spirit. It's a spirit guide, something like that. Something like that. Just summarize it. Go next. Same thing can be said of this. I think you have these distributions are good, but these are all definitions. Maybe there's too much information to summarize it as to what it represents. The Tao Te are one of the four creatures of the world. It represents gluttony, greedy of eating, would eat anything it decides. So it represents gluttony. It is so greedy that it can even eat its own body. That's it. Okay, finish. We can talk about the features later. All right, the features of each creature. Only if you need to emphasize any of the creature, then talk about it. Otherwise, don't have to, because you're just trying to put all the nine dragons here just to explain its representation. And then next. Okay, next. Same thing. Same comment. Same comment. Yeah, they are good. You can keep this information. You can, for example, you can make a duplicate this slide and then keep the original slide, so that in case you want to know more, we can read more. But the one that you want to present, a bit a summarized version. Go down. Next slide. Okay, so now gone to Japanese supernatural creature. Okay, all right, good. Next. Okay, next. Next. Okay, keep going. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, don't change anything about all these slides. These slides are fine, but I think you need to have another set of slides. Duplicate this one. So what you need to do is all the different mythical creatures, hybrid creatures from the cultures that you have presented here. Try to summarize it in fewer slides, so that and present it well, so that it's easy to see the comparison. I would suggest that you put these creatures in a nice diagram, all this in a big interesting diagram, maybe a circular diagram or something with Alebrije in the center, and then you have all this, map it out. You put that in a nice map form, like a map form, do it in Miro or something like that, and that can be a nice image to show. If you want to know one by one, then show this slide. If not, don't show this slide. So but you can include this slide as part of your research. So your research slide in this is this, okay? And don't forget to paste your references. You have your references in the end, right? So that's important. So have a map it all out. So Alebrije in the center, and then you have all these other things. So all these other things with all the complex representations and what they are, Alebrije, on the other hand, really does stand out compared to the others. Right? So that's very good. Okay, now let's look at your, do you have a research problem? Something?
This yeah. Basically this one.
The praise from the day of the date. Okay, problem statement. How can other creature design influence the creation of an intercultural hybrid creature? I think how can other creature design elements, right? Creature design elements influence the creation of an intercultural hybrid creature. So your intention is to create a new hybrid creature. So research objective, preserving Mexican folk art by creating, you want to preserve Mexican folk art, folk, you want to preserve Mexican Mexican folk art, uh, or you want to create a new creature, a brand new one.
Okay.
A brand new one, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically Alebrije is your case study. So you're not preserving the Mexican folk. That's not the point of your project.
Okay.
Yeah, the point of your project is to create a new hybrid creature. Am I correct? I mean, tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Is it correct?
Yeah, correct.
You sure?
Yeah.
Just because I say anything doesn't mean I'm correct, huh?
No, it's okay.
Because this is your research, okay?
Yeah.
You can tell Dr. Charles wrong. Okay. So the point, so Alebrije is your case study. So it does not, is not part of your research objective. Your research objective is connected to your research question. So actually the second thing you should put after the problem statement is your research question. Now let's look at your research question first. Your problem statement is not a problem statement, is a question. The problem statement is, okay, how does a problem statement sound like? The problem statement sounds like this. When you make that map, okay, when you make that map of the creatures, you've done your research. And second thing, that is one thing, you've done your research which you extracted online, and then you mentioned you got feedback, you got response. Did you get any kind of response from social media or anything? Was there any social media responses to hybrid creatures and whatever? Did you find online existing ones?
We haven't looked up to that yet.
Okay, never mind. Just asking. I'm just asking. Let's say if you, okay, even if you find the research information online is also data. Okay, so you have that. So after looking at all that, all right, what do you notice? What do you all notice? What are your observation?
Oh, sorry. Like
After,
things.
I mean, when you look at all these creatures online, right? Okay,
Yeah.
let's say watch Harry Potter, or you
Mhm.
let's say Percy Jackson. Um, one moment. So let's say Percy Jackson, and you see all these different creatures that exist in these platforms, and who's watching all that? You know, funny thing about Percy Jackson, even Clash of the Titans, when they, why are they showing Clash of the Titans to the whole world? Why should someone in Malaysia watch Clash of the Titans? Why should someone in Indonesia watch Clash of the Titans? Interesting, right? Why are we so familiar with Griffin? And why are you so familiar with all these creatures when in our own country we have similar creatures? These are some of the questions that you would ask yourself. It's kind of like why are we driving a Toyota when our own country have a car, a very, very own car with a very our own design, and it's as good. Why is the perception? There are other questions on product design, like what, like why are the perceptions of the Volvo? Why people perceive the BMW and Volvo to be very amazing luxury cars, and the local car in Malaysia called the by the company called Peradua and or Proton, not luxury? Is the same question. If you why is Green Day alternative rock group so awesome, and they can be in the Billboard or whatever, and everybody seems to recognize them as an international group? Or why they not, why is our group in our country not Green Day level? So it is the same question that you ask yourself. So like I would ask questions like this because I want to find a problem. So I found a fault with the situation here. I'm seeing people's perception of a brand, people's perception of visual identification, maybe an identity. We are in a state of an identity crisis. Now, in this case, the Mexican Alabrije is your case study, and it's very much tied to the Mexican cultural identity, measure cultural connection. So, are you saying that uh, they're so connected to the cultural icons or cultural elements of other countries? What is that sound? Oh, so anyway, did you hear that sound?
Yeah, I think I
Sorry,
think
I think it was me because I have like 4 mosques around my house.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, don't worry, don't worry. Um, so anyway, so are those cultural, so those cultural icons, are those cultural icons, we are so identified with that that we seem to say to ourselves that we can relate to those cultural icons. For example, when you look at Perseus riding a Pegasus is a winged horse. Can we relate to it? Most of us can relate to it because it seemed to represent something that is impossible becoming possible. So everybody seemed to be relating to it. Everybody seemed to be putting ourselves in the position of Perseus and being able to ride a horse. People react in such a way when they see such a visual. Oh my gosh, I wish I could do that. Oh my gosh, it was so great if I can. The sort of reaction, oh, so beautiful. Or look at that griffin, if only I can have it as a pet, this sort of thing. Such awe and wonder but such awe and wonder and that sort of thing on such creature design. and maybe the visual itself, especially now when it's 3D, we are able to make it so real in with the computer graphic technology today, like Jurassic Park as well. Like the dinosaurs, they look so real. But even those days, those days, the equivalent of that amazing graphics was a drawing on a wall, or a drawing on a manuscript, or a really good artwork. So that's the equivalent of what we understand by a really interesting, you know, work. But that gives you that kind of same reaction. So the visual design influence what made those creatures interesting. We know they are hybrid, but they have design. It's designed. They're designed by influenced by mythological understanding, mythological stories. People told things, they said things, and then they're visualized, right? So the Alabrihe was probably part of a story that people may have told, and part of a mythology, part of a cultural, legend, and people drew it. So they drew it, and it has wings, it has all that. So all that influence came from the people, and that's the cultural. Could be a cultural design influence that's on the creature. So the creature is being dressed up with a cultural design influence, maybe a cultural perspective, cultural understanding of what a spirit might look like, that guides souls to the afterlife, things like that. Um, so there's a lot of discussion that can be said or can be made about how what people talk about, and how what kind of stories were told to make the creature look like that. So it could be an influence. The design influence came from the culture itself, from the people itself. So then you looking. So the same can be said by all those hybrid creatures from all these different countries which you show, right? So now, what is missing? What is missing? So my question is, what is missing from all this? Let's put that. Have a time travel jump to now, current times. So during the current times now, in your generation, the Generation Z, okay, and you guys are millennials. Are you millennials or Generation Y?
No, we're Generation Z.
You're Generation Z.
Yeah.
So for Generation Z, would this be relevant to you? How are you seeing this now? If me, Generation X, the way we understand it, yeah, this like how I said, but for Generation Z, how do you understand how do you see this thing, and what is missing? Is it relevant? Okay, when you watch a music video by KDA, or I play a games, or I look at the what do you call League of Legends trailer, the cinematic trailer, so awesome. And League of Legends have all these characters of different cultures. Interesting, right? Each of the characters have very distinct identification with cultures. If you notice, some have very neutral identification, like mechanical creatures, mechanical bots, be robots, cyborgs. Some are samurai like, and as you can tell, that's Japanese, right? And then you got others, you got the one with the guns, that's very European kind of weaponry. And you got all the different kinds of different representation. That's makes League of Legends become so popular, because of people start to relate to the the design influences on each of these characters, that is very much tied to cultural design influences. So what is missing now when it come back to the hybrid creature? What do you think is missing? So the what is missing is There's nothing new. You see new things in League of Legends, you see new things in games, you see new things in character creations in many, many games, but you don't see new things you don't see a new intercultural hybrid creature that does represent a new culture, right?
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Are we part of a new culture now? Do you think a new culture is emerging? What is emerging? So another question is, what is emerging out of the today's situation? Whenever society is going through a very hard time, sometimes we have a new culture. A new culture can be born.
Mm.
um, Now this new normal is, now we are not geographically dependent. We we are borderless. We've been borderless for a long time, but yeah, yeah, you're right. We are borderless, um, and we are a new kind of borderless culture. How do we make sense of something like that? I think when you want to focus on a cultural identity, so what's missing here, we got all these different cultural icons, but we're not talking about gaming characters, we're not talking about warrior characters in a virtual environment. We're talking about non-interactive symbolic representation of a new culture, but what you choose is a hybrid creature. That's missing. So that's your problem statement. The problem is that today's the problem is today's society lacks a strong, today's new culture, today's new borderless culture lacks strong representation, and therefore as designers, you no therefore there may be a need to, in the tradition you know there may be a need to have a culturally influenced hybrid creature, a culturally influenced hybrid creature, like how all this old hybrid creature was influenced by those cultures. Isn't it interesting that if you do a survey and ask people, what do you think the new culture hybrid creature might look like? And you get all their responses. And then you create a new hybrid creature based on cultural influences. So therefore, the creature design influence from other cultures was based on what people said, stories told from people. You see the connection? Stories told from people, mythologies, legends, brings out the visual representation of that creature, and then and is passed down from generation to generation. It's time to have a new creature. So what kind of new creature will you create, and how will you create it? You got to find a purpose. So this, what does this new creature represent? This new creature will represent what? What would it do? You see, it boils down to people, It boils down to people. So that's your ethnography opportunity, because you post this one question and get responses. How would the get responses and get their kind of perspective on how will today's culture hybrid creature look like, if you were to create a hybrid creature just like how those creatures like those have been created before. So yeah, but you said hybrid creature, So I think it's good to keep the word creature there, because you keep it open, so anyone can just suggest anything. If just the five of you suggest the creature, then it's just coming from the five of you. But then again, this is intercultural design hybrid creature. So if you you know, let's see what happens. Then after that, that could be like contributes to your ideation, you know. At the meantime, you guys can come up with your own suggestions too. So but you see, most of you come connected to the same culture. You're connected to the same culture. You're connected to the same geographical location. So that presents of a bias. There's a bias of the idea, but maybe you need to put it in a platform. Use a platform to get the information so that a hybrid creature can be designed. Now, what you expecting? How you expecting the hybrid creature to be designed? Okay, we'll come to that. But to get the information about what people think about hybrid creatures, to make your effort easier, you don't need to create a new survey. Try to find information from online. How did people discuss about it? Just find, online, any discussion online about creation of new hybrid creatures. Are there interviews by famous creature designers about this? Collect this information, so that can give you some idea. Ethnography is not just about, you know there are limitations to this study, because you got time limitations. You should put limitations in one slide. Like, what are the limitations that you're facing in terms of trying to find the idea, or trying to get responses or whatever. So you are more focused on historical data, research data, and then you have also another part of research data is looking at more contemporary feedback and response on this. One interview from creature designers, which you can find on YouTube, and then you have people talking about it from message platforms or whatever, if you can find. um, yeah, if this was a 14-week semester, man, you can collect some really good responses from based on your own questions. But we don't have much time for that. But then you make your best assessment to what you're able to do. But the important thing is, you need feedback, you need response, you need information, which will give you a clue to what this might look like. So that problem statement, a problem statement must be one slide. Okay, problem statement maybe one slide. Then the research question is, how would how would an interact how would an intercultural hybrid creature look like for the new culture of today? Something like that. For the new culture of today, or for the, I don't know, the new normal culture. For the new normal culture, for the new generation of online, for this new generation, or what do you call this time? uh, this is a different era now. This is the borderless culture. Borderless culture. For the borderless culture, the non-geographical dependent culture. This culture is now huge. The whole world is it now. Can you believe it? COVID-19 is like, this is a pandemic. You know what a pandemic is? It is the whole freaking world. You know how bad this is? This is bad. This is bad. It might get worse. So the world is such a mess with this thing. We need hope. during the Great Depression of America in the early 1940s, 1930s, during the Great Depression, mafia was taking over the cities. There were lawlessness. People were out of jobs. So, so people need to spread hope. What art became hope? Design became hope. So they design Shuster and I forgot the name of the writer. There are a couple of writers. They came up with the idea: we need a man, we need an angel, or we need something, a creature, a character that can show the people that to get people away from the worry and depression, and they can look to a character and see hope. Even it's a fictional character, doesn't matter. They will be amazed by it. They've never seen anything like it. So he created a character from the planet Krypton, and his name was Kal-El, and he came to Earth, grew up as a human being, understood everything. And of course, they took a little information from religious texts and whatever. Then they just created this thing. So they had that research base, then they have all that, and they call him Superman. So then they created an animation for the comic book. He can leap tall buildings and single bound. He can stop the train. He can do things humans cannot do. And the bad guys use because the mafia use machine gun. So this guy shoot with a machine gun. This guy pum 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 and protect the police. So people thinking, wow, that is awesome. If only such a person exists. But they will read it. They will read it, and then they made an animation. And I'm like, oh, wow. And no, TV series, even better, a real human representation. So today we see all this, because the world is mess, right? So you have mythology, modern day mythology being created every day to get our mind dreaming, get our mind, to show hope. So what about your hybrid creature? How so your research question is, how would hy what was my research question again? How was that research question again? How would an intercultural hybrid creature, how would an intercultural hybrid creature be created, okay, based on the borderless culture today and the future? You got that? Desi is writing it. You got that all, Desi? Okay. So um, then we go to the research objective to create a new hybrid creature which represents today's borderless culture, and to and as a possibility of a strong representation of hope and a strong positive representation. Just like how you said, all these some dragons are positive, some dragons are negative, some creatures are positive, negative. But here, how will this be? So to create, okay, a new intercultural hybrid creature which represents the borderless culture of today and the future, to represent hope and positive, or to represent positive, or to be a positive representation for the entire world, or something like that. So this creature can help us, a creature which is symbolic, so the sub-objective, second objective, which is related to the first objective, a sub-objective is to create a creature that is the sub-objective, first objective, then sub-objective, to create a new intercultural hybrid creature using augmented reality or virtual reality, using and to present it via a short clip or to present it via an interactive thing or interactive music video or interactive artwork, or to present it via wearable design. For example, let's say this interactive, hey, you should ask me to shut up, okay, if I'm going out of topic. Am I going out of topic?
um,
Yes.
in a way, still connected. In a way,
Are
still
you
connected.
sure?
Yeah.
Okay, I should stop talking then. Tell me what I'm making sense so far. I got carried away. I'm so sorry.
It's okay, sir. We really enjoy
I,
this.
I, I really like I really like this topic, you know.
Yeah. just, just now I searched that.
I'm sorry, I'm carried away. I get carried away. You should tell me.
It's
Are
okay.
you going
It's
too
okay,
much?
sir.
You're going away, sir. I'm confused. Uh, um. So should I continue? Or what? I mean, let me.
I mean, just now, you got
Yeah.
mentioned like we can create like a new hybrid creature, right? Like
Yeah.
represent like in this borderless era.
Yeah. I think
Like,
you got to use the word culture, borderless culture, because
mhm.
it's a cultural experience. Okay, continue. Yeah, go on.
And then like I go try to search on Google, like about the creation of new hybrid creature,
Yep.
and the things came out right. It's all like very scientific, like some of them even is like very disgusting. It's like
Mm.
human pig hybrid,
Mm.
and then like some like
Yeah.
Japan also like start already. Like Japan start like human animal embryo experiment also,
Yeah. You see,
which they call chimera also because like the
correct.
reference between
Yeah.
chimera.
It's grotesque. Okay. There's a word called grotesque. Sometimes they in the in the art world, grotesque is actually art. Grotesque is ugly, really ugly and disgusting. It's grotesque, and grotesque is beauty in its own right. But you're not going that direction. You're not going for grotesque. You're not going for that kind of thing. So, what you just said, Dondo, all that is the problem.
Mhm.
That is part of the problem. You see, a problem statement can be a one whole page of writing. So see, you found problems. You yourself, you've been looking for this information, but what you got back is that's the problem.
Mhm.
You see, and there's no proper representation of that. There's no positive representation. Say there's a problem. There's no positive representation. You only get disgusting kind of things. You get all these little things that doesn't really help. You know, so you choose because the basis of your study is all this thing in the from what you showed in the beginning of the slide. These are very good. These are very good research, and I think the Alabrije is a very good representation. It's a good case study. Now, time to move to the objective. So, what do you think of the? I mean, I gave you a rough idea of the objective. I mean, that's the way that I can see that direction. Um, but the borderless culture is the culture of today. I suggest that you relate to make it a little more relatable to contemporary situation. You know, tell me your thoughts, guys. Um, I'm waiting for someone to say something. Andio,
What?
your thoughts?
Uh, yeah,
Yeah, what?
I like the idea of the research question, making a new hybrid creature.
Okay. Why? Why do you like it?
Because it seems like fun.
Why is it fun? Can you
Because
tell me a bit more?
but sorry, I'm lost.
Huh? What? You said what?
Maybe
I'm
give me
lost.
time to process all the information first.
You're lost.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you for telling me that now. Why you lost, Angel? What are you lost about? What do you not understand?
I was distracted by your
By my what?
the one that you talk about Superman.
Okay, you okay? Tell me more about the distraction. Why are you distracted about Superman? Is he your favorite character or something?
No,
Then what?
it's just like I was thinking about what kind of new hybrid creature that I'm going to create, or just thinking about the other creature that I might combine to one.
Okay, yeah, do share. Tell me. Tell us. You're going somewhere interesting. Okay, go on.
Um,
Just say it. I won't judge.
I was thinking about Pokemon.
I'm, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I think it's cute. Pokemon?
Yeah,
Hmm. All right. Keep going. We're getting somewhere. Why Pokemon?
because there's a lot of um unique creature.
Yeah, the Pokemon world, right? Because I have Pokemon Go on my phone, and I haven't used it for a while. But I really like the different variety of creatures. But those creatures, they're like I don't know. They're not Japanese creatures, are they?
I
They
don't
are
think
not
so.
Japanese creature, lah, but some of them like reference from animals. Some of them like reference from their belief. I mean, like their
Yeah,
mythical creature as well.
yeah,
Especially the legendary one, all like
yeah,
Japanese like culture one.
yeah. Correct. There may be some, but the Pokemon creature itself does the Pokemon creature have a strong cultural connection to Japan?
I think like Pokemon's right like can be one of the good example of like the new feature like the virtual creature. I mean, because I like
Mm,
every time they update it, right, every time they come up with new Pokemon, they're always like different regions one. Like currently it's in the UK region, so there's a combination of that culture, like a creature that create from like the the UK like culture, creature, like the creature, mythical creature. So
yeah,
there's like a, I don't know, like a
yeah. Good point.
something like that.
Yeah, well done, Angdio. You brought up the Pokemon thing. Great. You see, you see how much you could have contributed. You just said that one thing. It's a good discussion.
Uh,
Pokemon.
sure.
Yeah, you should speak more, dude. Say your mind. How much you could have shared, how much you could have used, how much information you're keeping to yourself. You're terrible. You should open your mouth. You're so important. um, Anita, what do you think?
I'm still processing.
Huh?
I'm still processing. Like processing the
You're processing. What
discussion.
are you
Yeah,
processing?
my thoughts become so like
Your thoughts about what?
spread
Your thoughts about what?
about the
Specifically?
creature.
What is in your thoughts? Any specific thing that you were thinking about and trying to process? What was that thing?
Because like we stay at home, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it can be like lonely and having like pets as our companion. This can be good.
Mm.
So maybe
Pet creatures.
pet creature hybrid, something like.
Very interesting.
Wow.
You see? Oh my God. Dondo, are you listening to this?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Pokemon and imaginary pet.
Yeah. You see, what you are suggesting, these ideas are data too.
Yeah.
Wow. You don't have to worry about ideation. You got tons of ideas here. Oh, nice one, Anita. I think it's a good point. Companion. I think
Companion, yeah.
the representation of companionship.
Because our yes, I don't know how to say it. It's like a spirit guide, right?
Mm.
To like to the death world. Maybe we can have like a spirit guide to keep us safe.
Yeah. how
Something.
different would this creature be? Or the difference is um because you got those apps on your phone, but the apps on your phone and those like Tamagotchi kind of virtual pets that you have online,
Yeah, very true.
how different is that going to be with this version that you have?
Mm.
The difference is,
Mm.
I suppose, if you want to connect your virtual companion to um maybe this is going to have maybe a virtual companion that is representing maybe the stay at home thing, maybe, or the, I don't know. So I guess that's where you need to find out how the representational value, because a lot of virtual pets are online. There are a lot of virtual avatars you can talk to with this AI. You can talk to, but I think they have a specific weakness, which you Anita might have an answer to that. So maybe it's more on what we need to look at. So yeah, good idea, interesting perspective. Desi, what are your thoughts?
Uh, thoughts. I don't really have much idea. I was
Why?
thinking like funny stuff from all of these people's idea.
Oh, do share. What are the funny stuff?
Now, when Anita said like companion and then you said like on phone, right? Instead
Yeah.
of thinking about like Tamagotchi, I was thinking about Poe.
Poe.
So the Poe is like isn't an animal, isn't anything. I think it's a poop, I think, but it poops also. So I don't know what is it.
Is there a reference for that?
No, I was
Like
thinking
a
about,
game
yeah, it's a
with small
game.
pets.
It's a game, is it?
Yeah, it's a
Yeah. But it's a
companion.
shape of like a pool.
Uh, wait. How do you spell that? P-O?
Poe,
Oh,
Pou.
POU.
Oh, P-O-U.
So
Oh,
it's like a companion pet.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's so
Right.
popular, but no one knows what is it, you know.
how is it popular if no one knows?
So, wait.
No, don't know what
What
kind
it
of
is.
like animal gitu loh.
Oh,
Feed and take care of Poe. Watch it grow, play games. So, are you saying this is an alien or poop?
That's the
No
point.
one
Like
knows.
no one knows what that is.
If it's a poo, but it's also pooping.
Okay. Some pretty interesting reviews. So, okay. Yeah. So you're saying humor. So she used Anita's
Yeah, I was just
Keyword is
like thinking
companion.
from Anita's
Yeah,
opinion lah.
yeah, extending what she's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So humor, right? So humor could be the a strong representation. How about you, Diani? What are your thoughts?
Yes, sir. Because for now, I'm still thinking like how to create the new hybrid creatures with our new generation, like now.
Mm,
Just like, because now I was thinking about the bacteria of the COVID because,
mm.
yeah,
What about it?
like I was thinking to create.
A
I'm not
character
sure.
from the COVID bacteria.
And combat with other animals, but I'm not sure like how. This I'm still like
Yeah, you
process.
got a point too. Mm, yeah, don't go very far. The COVID bacteria as well. Yeah, Anita said it would be a
This is what
giant.
in my head, sir. For now,
Mm,
yeah.
interesting. Yeah. Uh, well, Dondo, look at that. I think you've got some very interesting ideation directions here. I think if you guys can pull your thoughts together, you can definitely come up with some very interesting hybrid creature. But let me ask you, Diani, do you think this creature, this one with the COVID bacteria, I mean, if you combine that visual identity of the COVID bacteria, apparently the COVID bacteria seem to have one thing in common with, I would say, an intercultural identity, is that it transcends all cultures. It's the same for all culture. It will look the same in every culture. But if you combine it with something, as you said, you will give it some kind of a new visual appearance. But the question is, what will you do? Will what is this? Are you creating a story based on this? Is it a
Yeah,
story of redemption, a bacteria turning good, or is it? Or are you saying that this thing is solving problem, or are you saying this is getting worse? This is a representation of everything that's wrong in this world. What you trying to say with it?
like since like COVID-19 happens in the world, like for now,
Yeah,
like everyone, like you know how we take care of each other now, like just because of this COVID.
yeah.
And like we work together because of the COVID. Like we try to sorry, sir, wait.
Hmm.
Sorry, sir, it's my nephew. Wait.
Your nephew. Oh, sweet. Okay, let's give her a moment. Yeah, I think we are heading towards something. I think whatever that you guys have stated, or what you mentioned, I think you need to note those things down. Diani has made some very interesting points as well. She was saying that the COVID bacteria. Yeah, Diani, it was continue.
Okay, so
Yeah,
how we cooperate with each. Okay, sorry, sir.
it's okay. It's okay.
Keep the cat away.
It's okay, Diani. If you want to come near the camera, it's fine. We can say hi.
I like the nephew idea. Very good.
Hello.
Hi. Say hi.
Hello.
Hi.
What's your name?
What's your name?
Oh, he's such a sweetie.
He's very shy.
Yeah, I can see that. So, um, so you're saying that the COVID bacteria or the COVID pandemic has brought people together. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Mm. Okay, so it's brought people together. It's brought out the best in people.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're saying that the this creature is probably a misunderstood creature.
Uh, yeah, we can say that too. But
Mm,
I'm sorry, sir.
it's okay. It's okay. No worries. No worries. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, wow, what's that? Okay. Anyway, so bottom line, at the end of the day, I think you have some very interesting points from today's discussion. So you should take this and figure out the objective, finalize your objective, and what is it? What is the representation of your what? That's what you need to do. What is it representation? And in terms of the creation of the creature or how you want to project it visually, this visual design, maybe think about augmented reality. So let's say, for example, if I were to wear a shirt, if all of a wearable design, so maybe the shirt has the COVID-19 here, maybe for example, bacteria, and you have an app that turns every image into an augmented reality interactive element. So everybody be asking, so what's going on? So we may be online, but then you have this thing here, or maybe you're wearing that locket, or maybe it's a 3D thing, or maybe it's a symbol over here. Then everyone just take the phone and put there, and like, gosh, something is happening with you when you're doing that. So things like that. So you have interactive elements, using AR. So maybe they'll be quite good to present. And this creature, then you, of course, in your slides, you can explain more about this new hybrid creature that has a stronger representation. Yeah. So you have some good points from everybody. And yeah, let's see where you take this. So once you put that online, maybe you can create a short clip presentation for that thing, and then get people's response to that, and that will be your post response. So this response is going to be answering your research question. So you guys get the idea roughly.
Yeah, get the idea.
Anything else you want to add to our discussion, or anything you want to ask?
I want to ask about the final project. Like the
Yeah,
final project can
final
be,
presentation.
yeah, it can be anything, right?
The final presentation is basically the outcome of this. It's your new intercultural hybrid creature.
Feature. But it can be anything, like take into any form, right? Like it can be
Or in terms of the yeah, it can be yeah, but make it more relevant to today.
yeah. Okay.
Make
I
it
was
more
thinking,
relevant to today. I mean, something, because we are doing this online. We're not doing this. So what would be the best way to do it?
yeah,
Mm.
because at first I had this idea like
Uh-huh.
since Alabrije itself is a sculpture, right? Maybe we
Uh-huh.
can do a sculpture that like in a way that incorporate with like today most essential items, like maybe sanitizer, face mask. Like maybe we can make a like this creature that like represent this kind of essential things as a symbol of
Yeah.
as a symbol.
As see, whatever you decide, together. And the second thing is, whatever you decide, it has to have a strong design sense.
Yes.
A design, you have to have strong reason for it. And I think um whatever, don't waste all that effort that you put in for your research. Don't waste those effort. You have put in a lot of effort there, and you have analyzed it. You've seen some things that all of those creatures have in common, some traits, but also I believe that everybody else in this group have some interesting points that they have made, and those need to be considered, because it is design is about semiotics. Semiotics is very important in design, because whatever that you're creating, whether it's 3D or 2D, is a strong, it has to have a relevant representation. Don't just jump to any conclusions or make any assumptions just because to make it relevant, I'm just going to put a hand sanitizer, something to it has to sanitize your hand. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Don't be so not too on the surface. Whatever it is, you're putting effort in it. So honor your effort, honor your thoughts. Make it work. Make it something like when someone were to see your presentation, then they will see that it's applicable, transferable. You could apply and transfer it to other platforms, or no, I mean not platforms, I mean, like, not to say physical platforms, but something like this can be used to teach, can be used to communicate, yeah. So there are many different transferable options to the idea of the design, yeah, based on the idea so that's why don't underestimate what you're able to do. Whatever that you come up with, it's not a silly thing, it's special. All right, very good. I'm pleased about at least it is very clear from based on your research, and I think you should just go forward and get it done. But don't forget to have your limitations, note down your limitations, okay? Yeah, and because you have a specific timeline already, so see what's the best way you can get this thing done. Making it a sculpture is tricky because you're gonna you don't want to present in front of the camera. Trust me. Don't make your lives difficult by trying to make a literal sculpture, like how you need to present it. I don't think you should go that direction, to be frank. There's got to be a much better innovative way to do it. Yeah, so to discuss and decide well. If you need me to go through your proposal slides one last time before presenting on Monday, feel free to send me the PDF. Share with me the PDF so I could comment on it.
Okay.
Yeah. Any last questions? Anything else? No.
I
Okay.
guess no.
All right. Nice to see all of you, and so you have a good day, right? And stay safe.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Sir.
You're most welcome. Take care. Bye.
Bye, sir.
Bye, sir. Thank you.
Bye.